Hello, I am Dr. Anthony Edwards, and I'm the instructor for ELHE 5304 Higher Education Leadership this semester. This is an asynchronous online course, and here's my contact information, phone and email. My preference is that you contact me via Canvas. That's at least a place where I can see your messages specifically and try to respond during office hours, but typically can respond within 48 hours. Um, Office hours, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. via Zoom or phone. And just reach out if you want to schedule one. And also from 11 a.m. to noon on direct message on Twitter. So the description of the course, this course is intended to provide an overview of the leadership in higher education concepts and theories, along with opportunities to apply the concepts and theories in real life situations. So in terms of major course assignments, we have the Become an Expert assignment, observation assignment, where you'll observe a leader either in person or via the web or social media, an interview, a webinar, and group paper and presentation. All these are group assignments, and then you have the final exam, which is an individual assignment. So I use a similar structure in the courses I teach, mainly because I think the activities themselves are good activities regardless of what content you're learning. And each semester you're going to apply different content. But I think it's important students kind of know what to expect, where to find things in a course. They know because the other piece of this is we're not just teaching content, we're teaching skills. And so each semester you hopefully will get better at writing, citing, referencing, using, library databases, and also just once you know what to expect. So knowing that helps you to be able to succeed, not just in this course, but in other courses that I teach. There's no textbook you have to buy for this course. We will be using an online textbook. You'll access it through the Tarleton Library databases. It's a guide for leaders in higher education. You can click the link there to access it. It's also in Canvas. But if you need to, another way to access it is to go to the Tarleton Library databases. You'll log in, click letter E, find the ebook collection, type the name of the book, and it should come up and you can access it that way. Big recommendation, access the chapters down if you need to download them, if you like, just to be able to access them. Try to get your reading done or print them out, download them at the beginning of the week. So because there are only so many people can be looking at it at any given time. So if you wait till Friday when your discussion post is due, then you may have trouble getting into the system if other people are already using it. No prerequisites for the course. As far as learning outcomes, you should be able to, when you finish the course, you should be able to describe theories and concepts in higher education leadership. And you should be able to apply theories and concepts of higher education leadership in real world situations. And those are related to things like academic leadership, higher education landscape, communication, organizational change, outcomes assessment, campus culture, and strategic planning. So you'll essentially learn a framework you can apply in multiple situations, whether it's academic affairs, student affairs, enrollment management, athletics, finance and administration, research. So lots of different scenarios. So the grading rubric. So courses, basically you get a grade by just your points possible divided by, basically if you take the total number of points you earn, divide that by the total number of points possible, that gives you your grade. And you have 11 discussion assignments. And, for all these assignments in Canvas, there's usually a little, 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner where you can look at the rubric for each of these assignments. You have discussion assignments where each chapter has a situation at the end that you can pick the situation you want to write about. You'll answer those questions, and you'll also provide what we call a muddiest point. So it's something that maybe from the reading maybe didn't quite make sense to you, that you have questions about or just want to follow up about. And then you'll respond to two other classmates and talk about, what they put in their discussion posts, and then also provide a resource that may help them better understand their the muddiest point, the thing that they don't understand. And don't feel uncomfortable about, hey, I'm embarrassed saying I don't understand. Nobody understands everything. So the point is not to make you feel uncomfortable sharing. The point is to help you answer the questions you have, because I don't want you to get to the end of the course and say, well, I really didn't learn anything about X. I want, if you're not understanding something, or if you wanted to learn more about a particular topic, you get the discussion boards as a place to say that you needed more information about a certain topic, and your classmates can help you. I can help you. We also have a pre-course statement of understanding, and it's just a place to let me know what you already know. So I'm not grading you on how much you know. It's really just you telling me where you're starting from. That helps me to help you more effectively. Then at the end of the course, you'll do the same thing and show me how you've grown, what you've learned. We have several group assignments. You have the research assignment, where you'll essentially do a literature review on the topic that you and your group members choose. Basically, in Canvas, I'll show you, there are essentially a place to go to, you can pick which topic that you want to choose, and then you'll do that. Then you'll have an observation assignment where you will observe a person in person, see what they do, or you can observe them via social media or a video, website. So a lot of different ways to do that if you can't see someone in person. Next is a higher education leadership interview. So you'll interview a higher ed leader, preferably in the area that you're researching as a group. And even if you want to learn more about people in other areas, you're welcome to interview multiple people if you want to do that. Also, keep in mind, at the end of the semester, we're going to have every group is going to present about their topic. So that gives you an opportunity to learn more about other areas. So you have that, and then we have a leadership webinar that you'll watch and write about. And then again, your group will provide a group presentation and paper. So, that way that'll be something that you'll be able to go over to summarize what you learned. Okay, final exam. And so those are the major grades. Again, normal grading scale here. So, and again, I'm not a person that likes to make things unclear as to how to succeed. I usually grade my assignments in terms of meeting expectations and exceeding expectations. And so, usually there's a minimum number that you need to do in terms of citing and referencing, and certain things that have to happen to meet expectations. And then when you go beyond that, you can exceed expectations. So just, keep that in mind. All right. So basically, know that I will give you feedback on your assignments. I tend to focus mostly on the mechanics. So whether you cited or provided references, so keep that in mind. We'll get you feedback on those types of things. Also, did you adequately explain a particular topic that we were discussing that week? Again, these are not right or wrong type subjects. So it's hard to really say, hey, you didn't do this correctly, or you explained it wrong. It's really about mechanics, and how thoroughly as a graduate student do you incorporate literature in your response, and not just saying, hey, I think this. This is grad school, and so but again, I don't say that to make you nervous about it. I say that to help you know, mechanically, if you do the right things, you can get the grades that you want to get. Also, again, with class participation, with it being an online course, class participation is based on what you do as an online student. So if you're logging in, if you're not logging in, you're not doing the assignments, that's considered not participating. Okay. As far as, again, that's kind of attendance. So late work, basically for every day assignments late, you lose 20%. So here's an example of assignments due on Wednesday and it's 50 points. So student turns it in on Thursday, the 20-point deduction from 50 points is 10 points. So student can earn up to 40 points in that case. All right, so course schedule. So also I call it kind of week 0. And there'll be a couple of things to do there. Do it on the 27th of August. So basically the main thing is read your syllabus. Also, you can acknowledge that you read the syllabus, provide your pre-course statement of understanding. Again, it's just you telling me what you already know. All right, selecting a project and group and doing the networking discussion, introducing yourselves to your classmates. And that's really the first week, because it's a short week. So that's, really what you have to do there. The next week is when we get into content. So typically you'll have multiple chapters to read, but again, the goal is not necessarily for you to know every little last detail. I'm not going to ask you, what was the word on the third paragraph of page 137. It's really to give you an overview and build your toolkit so you know where to find certain kinds of information that you can apply in different situations. I'm also providing PowerPoints and videos describing each chapter this semester, so to help you summarize that. So again, like if you don't get to all the reading, or if you have to summarize and skim at a particular week, I get it. So I provide these resources to help you so you can kind of get the big picture. And, even though it's an online class, I want to make sure that you feel like I'm helping you distill the information as to what's most important. And so you'll basically answer one of the questions at the end of one of the chapters. And there's a group expectations discussion where you all set ground rules for how your group's going to work together. So, all right, so we'll fix that. All right, so chapter 3, chapter 9, chapter 14 are going to be on the second week. And again, similar activities, except, so you've got the vignette or case study discussion, and then you have your first group assignment where you become an expert and do your literature review. All right, next week on week 4, role of formal, informal leaders in governance. Say that 3 times. Conflict and difficult conversations and outcomes assessment, and you'll do your discussion and a higher education leader interview. Week 5, you'll have campus cultures and leaders role. Okay, and so again, this week there's just 2 chapters, so keep that in mind. It's not always 3 chapters. And crisis leadership, again, discussion, webinar assignment, and leadership self-assessment reflective practice. So you get to do a vignette discussion or case study discussion. We'll have our final presentations, and this will be our week 6. It's due October 8th. And you'll submit your final paper and presentation that week as well. And then next week, you're just reviewing for the final exam, because again, it's another short week. And so you'll do your semester in review. You get the option to provide some feedback on the course there, your post-course statement of understanding, and that again is where you show what you have learned since the beginning of the course, and then you do the final exam. And that can be really helpful, because sometimes some students, they may show on the final exam that maybe they didn't do as great, but the post-course statement of understanding showed what they really learned, and that can be helpful for me at the end of the course. So that's kind of how the course is organized. You have, again, we use Canvas as far as important dates, show you holidays, no class days here. Then we've got grade related dates. So when the classes begin, drops, withdrawals, hopefully we don't have any of that. So got the Higher Education Leadership Symposium. So these, are your dates for that. So then the final paper, final exam is going to be due. It's due on the 15th, but typically you'll get the week, essentially a weekend or so to work on it. Commencement, if you're graduating, is the 15th and 16th of December. All right, technology support if you need it. Numbers you can call. Some learning resources if you need help with APA. There's Academic Writer. There's also Purdue OWL for that as well. And in the Writing Center if you need their assistance. All right. So basically with academic dishonesty or academic integrity, essentially, if it's an individual assignment, do it yourself. If it's a group assignment, you can work with others. Cite and reference, paraphrase. Quotes have to be indirect quotes, but you have to put them in quotation marks. And paraphrasing is preferred over direct quotes. So we do have the right to run assignments through Turnitin. So just, make sure you're paraphrasing, make sure you're citing and referencing appropriately. In terms of accessibility, know that if you need resources from our office, it's actually now our essentially accessibility resources, since we're using a more positive term as opposed to, we're just focused on accessibility rather than lack of ability, because everybody needs accessibility. All right, so gives you resources on who to contact. All right. Again, academic integrity is of core value, civility in terms of how we communicate with each other. So be respectful of me, be respectful of your classmates. I'll give you some examples in the discussion post about how to be respectful. Academic excellence, do your best work, be participative. Don't just, do the minimum, do your best effort. Okay, continue, use a growth mindset, focus on growing. All right. Let's see, rules. Again, you can look at the rules there. All right. So that is the syllabus. Let's look at the course real quickly. So again, this is how it's laid out. There's my information there, a little description about me. I have a Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies. I've served in administration as Director of Tarleton Online for going on 8 years now, in a couple of different stints, related to or married to someone who's also served in higher education administration. So lots of good experience. My role, I've dealt with admissions, academic advising, career services, financial aid, institutional research, academic affairs, student affairs. So wide variety of exposure. So you can access the modules here in the sidebar, or you can go to the particular week that you need to go to. Start here. Those links go to the week 0 orientation. Grades you can access here. People you can access here. You can also access the student groups, where you'll select which group you want to be a part of. So you'll need to, there's an assignment where you have to do that, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And if you want to use a group collaborative space with your team members, you can use that. All right, so we'll go to the beginning. So again, read your syllabus, acknowledge it. There's a survey here just to kind of let me know more about you so I can help you. It's where once you have gone in here and people tab and selected your group, then you'll go over here and essentially acknowledge that you've done that. So I know so because I won't always get a notification if you just go over here. Your pre-course statement of understanding, which we discussed, and your networking discussion. Okay. Week 1, again, here are your knowledge and skill outcomes. The learning activities, again, I organize the course in terms of learning activities and action items. Again, read over the syllabus. Again, it's always good. Access your readings for week 1. And here is your first content discussion. So again, you'll answer one of the questions around, essentially this is going to be focused on the what is leadership chapter. And then you'll also provide a muddiest point, something that you needed maybe more clarification about. And then there's the group expectations discussion. So that's basically how the course is laid out. You can see from week to week, the learning activities and action items. All right. So, all right. So that's basically how the course is laid out. Reach out to me if you've got any questions, but I'm looking forward to learning with you in the course. And let's have a great semester, higher education leaders.